Hey guys, welcome back to another Chief Pet video. This week... Hey guys, welcome back to another Chief Pet video. This week we're gonna finish the wiring. So welcome back everyone. So this week I finished my wiring finally and I'm really happy about that. Of course I have to do a little bit small stuff, like I have to make a nice clean harness and I have to install, that's something that I forgot, install my license plate light. So yeah, those are small things. Everything is working and I'm happy about that. I am really aware that this video is really long, but I couldn't cut it or trim it smaller. So just bear with me. If you like wiring, just watch the whole video. I explain a lot during the video. Normally I do my voiceovers, but now I just explain while I do my wiring. So that's something new that I tried out. And yeah, if you like wiring, watch the whole video. Otherwise, only watch this intro. Why? Because I'm going to explain you a few things. Because I'm going to talk about my planning. So, I've dismantled my front forks. Why? Because I have the front fender and I need the front fender finished completely before I go to the spray painter. I will do this at the workshop at Razelmans. So, this will be something that will be in my video for next week. If that is all ready, then I can bring everything to the spray painter. Now I've talked to the spray painter and he's a really big schedule, a really busy schedule. So I don't know how fast he can do and I don't want him to rush things because I've got a great idea and I want him to do his best as he can. So I don't want to rush things, but still he's talking about 3 weeks that it will take to spray paint everything. So I keep my fingers crossed because I want to finish my bike before the summer. I want to just have everything finished. Now what else is on the program? I need to install all my fuel lines, but I can do that only when my gas tank is back from the spray painter. So that's a hard one. So why do I want to have the hoses done by myself? Because before I bring my bike to the dyno jet bench, because normally I bring my bike to the dyno jet to have them sort out all the jets that have to go in, because I'm not going to run around constantly around my house and try all different kinds of jets. They have a test bench, they can do that instantly. So and they're professionals, so I leave that to the professionals. But I want to make sure that the bike starts anyway before I bring it there. So I want to have that test, that the bike starts, that everything is okay, that the starter mechanism is working, because even though I have this magic formula, I still am not sure if everything will work. I want to test that first myself. So these are things that have to be done before I go on the summer holiday. And my summer holiday will be half of July, so it's a kind of a time squeeze. And of course the upholstering needs to be done as well, but I don't consider upholstering thing that otherwise my bike is not finished. If the bike runs, if the bike is running and I can ride it around even without a seat, I'm happy, and then I consider this bike as done and don't have any stress anymore. So these are the things that are coming up. So now you're gonna watch the wiring video. If you don't like it, skip it. I saw how I didn't have a high score in my last video, so probably people are not really waiting for this wiring video, but I know a lot of you guys really have something with the wiring and it helps you, so it's all for you guys. And enjoy the video. And I'm not gonna do an end on the end, so I'm gonna do the end now. Thank you all for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you, bye.
These are Kellermann turn signals. Very expensive, but also very nice.
Okay, so we will be installing blinker lights now. As you know from my previous videos, this is my combination rear blinker light. This is a brake light, a tail light, and flash blinker lights in one. So therefore we have more cables than usually. Now, as I also mentioned in previous videos, black is always black. This will go to minus. So in my case, this will go directly to my distribution bus, probably right over here, because this is all grounded by my minus of my battery, and next to that it goes to my frame. So I have a double grounded area here, which is really important for a good grounding. So this will go to ground. Then we have a lot more. So this gray wire will go to my flashlight, my flasher relay actually. But it has to know if it's left or right. So it will go to my handlebar switch, and I will go into the flasher relay in a moment. So this is for my blinker lights. Now we have 2 cables left. The gray-white will go to my tail light. So my original tail light cable. And this is in my case my blue-black cable, because I have a toggle switch. And I want it to be toggled on if I'm running lights, and toggled off if I don't want to run lights. So this will go to my blue-black. See my previous video for that. And then we have 1 left, so this will be my brake light, and this will go to my brake light cable, which I did not run yet. And I only have 1 brake light switch, which is my front handlebar, because I don't have a brake light for my rear brake. But that's no problem, because you only brake with front, and you only use your rear brake in case of emergency, or if you really have to brake hard. All the load goes to the front. So this is my brake light cable. Now we have a flasher relay as well. And this is a special Kellermann flasher relay, and it has more cables than I will use. Because first of all, well, this is obvious, this will go to my ignition cable. Ignition, when my ignition key is on, I want to have a positive there. So this will just go straight into this brown cable. I think it will be too crowded here if I'm going to do 2 on this, so I just will put an extra fuse here, also with the same amps, and I'll just give that their own plus. Why not? Because I have the space anyway. I won't use all the relays. So this is plus. This will be ground again, so this will go together here on this spot what I have here. And then I have 1 more cable left, and this cable is the pulse cable. So this relay, and every flasher relay, you can buy them cheap or really expensive, just does one thing, and this is giving pulsed plus. So the plus that will go in here will pulse through this. So this pulse needs to go to my left handlebar switch. And let me show you where these wires will run. So this was that super seal connector that I made with all the turn signal wires. So here you see the wire with a white stripe on it. This is typical a signal light, and this is what I also explained in my last video, that sometimes you just can see what type of wires these are or which wire is what. So the white striped wire is that pulse wire for the Kellermann relay that I just showed you. So there will be a signal pulse going in here, signal pulse, signal pulse. Now if I turn my switch to the right, then my brown wire will get that pulse. So this is my right hand side signal switch. So the green one which I have left is my left signal pulse wire for my blinker lights. So if you look at these here, I've got the same Kellermann signal switches here as well, and they just have 2 wires. Why? Because one is just ground, and I've made a ground point on my frame. You just can't see it, it's here. So ground will go there, and I have 1 cable left, and this is again that typical just gray cable, the same as in the back with the blinker lights. And this cable will, in this case, going to the brown wire, because that's the right hand side. So I will connect 4 wires, 2 right hand sides and 2 left hand sides, to this cable here, which will be going in a super seal connector, and the super seal connector will go here. So what I'm going to do now is pick a point where I'm going to put that relay. Probably it will be under here. I will run the pulse wire all the way to the front of the bike into the super seal connector which I have to make, and I will run run a wire where from my relay all the way to this side and to the front, so that both blinker lights will get the same signal. And what I need to tell you is, why are these other two? Well, these other two are if you have a different kind of load on your blinker lights. For instance, you have smaller LED relays or smaller LED lights, then I can also use these two cables, but probably I won't use them, or I don't need to use them, but I'll leave them on until I checked everything, if everything is working, and if not, I will have to run these two cables to get that signal. Otherwise, so if my blinker lights are doing really crazy stuff, then I'll probably need these loads, but it's all Kellermann, so I'll just be, it would be enough if I use this pulse wire. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Enjoy. This is interesting because I was deciding what to do with these black cables, to give them each their own round connector to put it on here, so that they still can be separated. But since I've made these really small holes, there's absolutely no reason not to just combine these two and combine all the wires, because if I have to take these off, then I have to solder everything off to get it through these tiny holes. So I've decided just to combine the two, and every wire combine it together and put it there, because there's absolutely no reason to give them all their own single connectors. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do.
This will be the pulse wire. This will be the green wire for the right turn signal switch. I already combined the green, brown and pulse wire together, because I know I will put these together in the harness sleeve later.
This goes to the back. We've got our pulse from our relay here. We've got our brown and green for left and right. And this is the signal switch which gives left, right, and the pulse goes in here. So what we have to do, we also have to connect front. So before we go into this connector, we have to split to the front as well, because the front wants the same signal as the rear. And we want to have that signal in our dashboard as well. So these guys also have to go to the dashboard. So we're gonna have quite some splits here. Splits to the dashboard, splits to the front and right, and straight into the super seal connector. So this is what I'm gonna do now.
This is a green wire right for the front turn signal lights and a green wire for the dashboard turn signal light. The same for brown, left.
Now we'll run this blue-black cable from the front toggle switch to the rear for my rear lights. So I've made my split here for my blue-black, because one blue-black needs to go in my left control switch, and the other blue-black will be this one going to the back for my rear lights. So this is my black-blue cable, which runs from my toggle switch. The toggle switch, if you know, if I put the toggle switch on, then this blue-black cable will give 12 plus current. It runs now to the back. I ran that cable back, and it will have to be connected to my rear tail light. So my rear tail light of these Kellermann flashlights will be connected to this gray-white cable. So we'll do that now. As you might notice, this is a blue cable, but I'll just put a black line on that with a felt pen to make sure that I know that this is a black-blue cable, because I also have the blue cable here, which is current going into that control switch actually. So I'll just give a black line, which I've done here with a felt pen as well. I just put a black line on there just to be sure that that is a black-blue cable. Okay, so I'll run that now. So now we have these red-gray cables left, and these are for the brake lights. So now let's search for that brake light switch and connect these, and then we're kind of almost finished. So you see two connectors hanging here. These will go to my front lever. That's just easy, you just shove them on. And then you see these two wires, which are those two, running here. So this is clearly the brown wire which has to go to my distribution bus on my frame, which is here, as you remember. For a lot of other brown wires, and in practice I don't have that much wires going there, so I'm kind of like, why was it there again? I thought I had to connect a lot of those there. This brown wire will go to that distribution bus, and this wire will go to the back to my braking lights. So I will run a, a green yellow cable. Let's have a look if I still have that, and run that cable to the back and connect that to my braking lights. Let's do that now.
And this will be the brown wire for plus.
So the neutral switch comes together with the wires from your stator. As you can see, it just is here as a single wire. I've got this kind of here in the back, so I think I will run a wire like this all the way to the front to the neutral switch light, which is in my speedometer, and I'll do that now. Okay, so that neutral switch was the last wire I needed to do. And now I'm kind of curious if all my electrical is working. Of course, I'm gonna tidy up this completely. I've ordered a little bit more stuff to tidy it all. I have to bundle everything, I have to make a harness. But I also need to uninstall this front fork because I have to bring it to Razelman to make my front fender. So yeah, I rather install everything when my front fork is in as well, but perhaps I will start making a kind of a harness tomorrow. But first, of course, I want to test it all. And I'm not trying to be arrogant here, but nothing can be wrong. If I will plug in my battery, it just has to work from there, because I did everything exactly and according to how it should run. That is that bare bone scheme. So I'm gonna install the battery now, and I'm gonna take you guys to that moment that everything should work. The only thing that could be is that my flasher lights are the wrong way. So left is left and left is right and right is left. It's the only thing that I can think of that might be wrong. Let me connect that battery and let's check. Always first connect your negative. Okay, so if I'm going to connect my plus now, there might be a small spark just from things firing up, but that doesn't mean anything. Just everything heats, and to be honest, it also could be that something is wrong. So let's see what happens, and never touch the frame, of course, but okay, here we go. Okay, no sparks. So that's a good sign. And if I put on my ignition, then my lights, I can switch on my lights. Let's see what happens. Okay, so my speedometer is working. Let me show you. My speedometer has light in there. Everything is, of course my oil light is working because there's no oil in yet. And the gear is in neutral, which should be right. And now I'm really curious for the flasher light. First the headlight, let's see if that works. Dim light and normal light. High beam, low beam, great. Is that correct? Yes, yes, you can see it here. High beam, low beam. Now for my signal lights. Oh, let's put that on, off. Great. This is just a hallelujah. Why? Because when you just are thinking like, okay, this should work like this should work like that, then it's so nice to have this confirmation that you're doing things right. Look at that. And I can't test the brake light, unfortunately. Yes, I can. I can connect the two to see if the brake light is working as well. Let me put the camera down. First, switch this off. Isn't that great? Okay, let's see. For the brake light, I'll put you guys here so that you are a witness if the brake light is working. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put the two wires together against each other so that you can see if something is breaking. My ignition is still on, so if I connect these two, kind of make a loop in there, closed circuit, then there should be a brake light, if I'm right. There you go. Isn't that great? Fantastic. So, things are working. I'm out of here. So now that I know that this works, this relay switch I can cut these wires off too.